Hello everyone, today we're going to be just making a cylinder. I think that's like the thing that most people need to get a handle on first when they first start making ceramics. They're not hard to make, but I think what a lot of people don't understand is that like a cylinder becomes everything else. You know, like once you make a cylinder, you can really make a lot of the forms in ceramics pretty easily. And so we're just going to be making a cylinder, and then after that I'll probably make like a little like a cup or something, and maybe I'll show you a couple of tips that help me when I'm making a cylinder. But alright, well, let's just get right into it. So here, just picture your ball of clay. This is a lot smaller than what I have been doing, so it might take me a moment to get back into the swing of things. But what I'm doing here is I'm kind of just like getting it attached as close to the bad as possible. And then like always just getting that attached to the clay on the bottom there. And then I have some clay from from yesterday when I was doing it, so I'll cut that off real quick. I kind of messed things up, but I should have cut that off beforehand. But again, we'll just use my finger. My hand's a little bit wet. And first things first, as we can see, it's off center here. Unlike some of my other pots, like when I'm working with a large amount of clay, with a smaller amount of clay, I'll just go straight in from the bottom and try to just center and pull it right up, right? And then this will be nice too, because this is like has uneven moisture in this clay, so it'll be a little bit more like difficult for me to work with. So then we'll probably just have to work on centering a little bit more. And man, I'm just doing stuff without talking about it. That's for my digital Noah counterpart to pick up on those things. Right here you can see there's a little air pocket, so like that will cause some problems later. So we'll just keep on centering this pot, or this ball of clay here. I really do like making cylinders. A lot of my forms, they are almost just cylinders, altered cylinders. I don't make a lot of plates, I don't make a lot of bowls. Sometimes with those they can get a little different, like what you're making, but when I do make a bowl, it's literally just a cylinder. And then when I do make a plate, it's just a wider cylinder. And so, well, we got this pretty much centered here. I can feel that there's already a bubble in there, but we'll make it work. Okay, so once we get it just about this, I'll clean up this so it looks a little bit more presentable. Alright, so first things first, when I do it, with these, I'm going to do something, people like to do this in like 2 steps, 3 steps, but when I'm working fast, like on my YouTube channel so far, you've only seen me do like larger stuff, and I work pretty slow, like about like 20 something minutes for me to make a pot that's like medium to large size, but small stuff like this is actually a kind of a lot of clay for a cup or a mug or something, so it kind of will be a little bit tall, or wide, I don't know. But when I'm doing this stuff, I'll do my hole that I'm making in 1 move rather than doing it in like 2 moves. And so like what I'm going to do here is I'm putting my finger down, out, and up, all down, out, up. And so I'll show you that right now. So finger goes in, down, out, all the way, and then up. And so that's way we get it all in 1 little move, rather than having to fuss around with it for like a while. That can just help, so I don't have to do as many steps really. And if you can just learn to do it in just that 1 move like that, you get this bottom kind of figured out too, not too thick, not too thin, and smooth it out if you want to, compress it if you want to, doesn't really matter. But that down, out, up, you can really make a lot of stuff if you learn to just do that in one move rather than doing it in a couple different moves. Okay, so then from here, I'm gonna go over to this, my chest cam for this for a second. And we can see that this clay is not really, we'll cut that off. It's not really centered fully on that bottom, but that's okay. Just kind of get that off. Then from here, finger goes underneath, pushing out a little bit. And just up. And try to, what I was told one time, my head, as you can see, it's always down on this side. Some people like to stay right above it, and so I think that's for this next thing is for those people who stay above their clay like that, is you are trying to aim towards your nose. So like if you're looking straight down, where you want to be pulling is towards your nose, right? So sometimes it will want to flare out, and that's usually just because the spinning of the clay wants to go like wider, right? And so if you're just pulling straight up, right, what you're actually doing is you're pulling kind of out in some manifestation. And so I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to pull up towards my nose when I'm down here. We'll go a little bit, color that top in just a tad. But you can see when you're just making these nice pulls here, right? Trying to get my camera on there. Nice and slow. Up towards your nose. There you go. Just like that. And it's really weird because when you're centering it, speed makes you feel like you're moving the clay easier, right? And it's kind of true, but when you're throwing, like what I just did, when you're making a pull, 9 times out of 10, you're just going a little bit too fast. Just slow down, but realize when you're slowing your pedal down, you also just got to slow how fast your pull is coming up. And it might be a little bit uncomfortable moving too slow at first, but that was not a fast pull, what I did right there. You know, that was a slow pull. And so we got like, I should just switch over to this. And usually with cups and stuff, it's important before you do any shaping to like, and using this tool can help you really get, I'll just cut this clay off. Make sure you get your wooden edge kind of sharp. Whoopsies. That wooden edge kind of sharp, you know? That way, like, it cuts the clay easier for all the leftover. But going in at the bottom here again. And just kind of pull it straight up. Compress that clay. And you're getting that nice cylinder shape. And then I leave a little bit of clay up at the top ridge. And that'd be nice. And it is, we pretty much already got our cylinder, right? That's pretty good. You can make it like perfect if you want, right? But I'm not really going to. This edge needs to come down. We're just trying to get our shape here, what we want now. We almost want it to look kind of like a milk, like for milk or something, you know, like a little bit wider at that bottom. And then we also want to get this kind of pushed down. you know, we're getting this nice shape. This clay on the bottom, this is good. We want to keep that. That can be for glaze. For the future, we can flip that rim right up. And now you have a lot of things you can do. I guess for me right now, I'll just do one of these. I'll go like this. I gotta get this interior a little bit more wet. Some people, once they get it here and they're just like, oh, this one looks nice. Not me. It's not good yet. And so we'll go right up, right up, right up, right up. Okay. And then from here, what we'll do is just try to get these things the way that we want them to be. Okay. Boom. Get that up here. Boom. Okay. This next one's not really where it should have been. So I'll get it back. Boom. And this next one's kind of in a good spot, but not where we wanted it to be. Boom. Okay. It's kind of nice. We have it in that thing. And then we just want to make sure we get this top. So this top right now is not really centered. And so what we want to do is we want to push outwards and have the clay up above here and kind of push that in. And so we make a slot where it can get back onto center. And so here we go. And then we just curl it up and around here. Okay, so here, let's see if I can get it on this camera. So what I'm doing is I'm push this finger under here, then this over top, and just kind of set that just like that, then kind of curl it up. There you go, boom. Right, and you got it back on center on that top part. It's pretty cool, right? But now we're not done. We're not done. No. Get that clay underneath out of there. And I guess what we'll do is we'll try to straighten these out a little bit. It's okay. Same thing, get this top where it needs to be. And these can kind of be sort of fun to make too. Just want to make sure that rim is nice and soft, that edge is soft. There's still a little bit of water in the bottom here. But get that water out. And then I guess we're pretty much done here. I mean, we got like a cool shape here. But we're going to try to get this bottom edge really nice looking. So we're going to cut this thing here on the bottom here. It's kind of nice. And then we'll do just one little splotch just like that. You see what I did? Just one. That's all you really need on something like this. Yeah, just one little splotch. And we were kind of in a good spot. The top rim is still kind of just a little bit sharper. There we go. And then that's sort of it. If you wanted to do anything else, you can. You know, maybe let's dry my hands off. I mean, right now we're just experimenting. So like anything else is just for fun. So for some reason, a pinch feels like it could be kind of cool. Like if I just like sort of pinch these in, kind of pull it out just like that. And then maybe we just curl that back into the little curl. Yeah. some water on my hand here too. Sometimes that water can... Get something kind of cool looking, right? Like just... And then, for some reason, I feel like maybe we just... Oh, we didn't want to do that. Gonna do the same thing here then. We'll curl that there. I'm gonna do one on the bottom here. Maybe a middle one here. Let's see, I don't really know how this is looking. I kind of like that though, so let's cut in there like that. And then just reestablish that top rim whenever you do stuff like that. And there we go. And I think we're done. You know, like this is a nice looking pot. Just soften that, use little chunks on that top rim there. That would be something real cool. It's a nice slice. Something funky in the middle inside there, so it just looks like it was considered, right? Like it's a kind of like a wonky looking spiral, but this is kind of like a wonky looking pot, but it has like a really cool thing to it. But yeah, so that's it. That's the pot. Let's see if my chest cam got a good view on it. But yeah, I really like these like little, like glaze will look cool on there, especially if it's thick, you know. Right there's these little notches, kind of referencing this bottom thing. There might be a little bit too many, but I think we're okay with how it looks, really. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and again, all the best and strong mentality.